welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do a wrap-up video. I have not done a wrap-up video yet, but I do want to do a video of 5-star books that I've read in 2022 so far. So basically my goal was to read 6 books in July. I thought I'd have a little bit more time to read, but stuff happened. So I did actually read 3 books for the month of July. So all of these 3 books, very different authors, and they were all... It was my first time to read all these books, obviously, but also my first book from each author. So these books are very popular on Bookstagram and BookTok. So I want to go with my most recent one first because I just finished that one. I did start to tab my books, as you can see. I didn't really tab my most recent book because, I don't know, I found it very plain. I don't really know why. It was a good book. It's not what I expected. It was a romance, but I don't know, I expected some kind of, I don't know, rom-com, comedy, something else in here, and I was just kind of, yeah. So, the last book that I finished was My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey. I would give this book probably a 3.5 out of 5. Just because even though there's other characters in this book, I feel like this whole book revolved around the 2 main characters, which was Taylor, who is a 2nd grade teacher, and then the bounty hunter. See, I forgot his name. Miles is his name. So Taylor goes on vacation with her brother in Cape Cod. They rent a house by the ocean, and they decide to take a tour and look around the first day they get there, and Taylor finds a dead body in one of the rooms, and the book goes from there. So the book revolves around the case and the smut. So this book is definitely for 18 plus. This is not a young adult book. Okay, I'm just gonna say that right now. I was really surprised by the smut. Sorry, my feet are falling asleep. The amount of smut in this book, it was like smut in like every second chapter. I was like, wow, okay. I think that was maybe a point that bothered me, was I feel like all I took from this book was the steamy romance between Taylor and Miles. Like, they talked about the murder investigation, they found clues, they gave you clues, but I feel like the murder investigation was just something else to put in the book, because this whole book was pretty much about Taylor and Miles and their relationship and how it escalated quickly, and the smut in this book, and it was just, I don't know, it's one of the books that really, I think, surprised me, if that makes any sense. It was a good book, but I don't really know, maybe I have to read it again, but I'm not really sure what the point of the murder investigation was, because it feels like it was very pushed to the back, and like I said, it was more about the 2 characters. Maybe that was me, if you get a chance to read this book, definitely read it. It's by Tessa Bailey. I have 4 of her other books. This is the first book I picked up by Tessa Bailey. And even though I liked this book, I wasn't 100% convinced that this was a good book for me. I'm in the middle of reading It Happened One Summer. It Happened One Summer? Is that the right one? It Happened One Summer Night. Yes, It Happened One Summer Night. Wow, I need more coffee. And I'm already on like chapter 5 and I can't put that book down. So this book, not for me, but the author, Tessa Bailey, awesome. Like so far I love the book It Happened One Summer Night. I can't put it down. I hope to finish it because then I'm excited to read the Hook, Line, and Sinker. Loved it. This book I didn't think I would like as much as I did. And I think I like this book more than My Killer Vacation. Now this is not a newer book. This is an older book. It came out in, I think it was 2014? No, sorry. 2018 this book came out in. Oh. Okay, interesting. It says 1993. Huh. I'm gonna have to look this up because this is copyright 2018, so I don't know. This book just came out as a movie in the second week of July, which is kind of why I wanted to watch it, and it's there's a big hype about this book on Bookstagram. Like I said, I didn't think I would like it too much, but I was surprised. I actually could not put this book down, and I really love this book. Where the Crawdads Sin by Delilah Owens. So this book is pretty much about a marsh girl who gets abandoned by her family. She lives in the marsh. Her dad is a drunk after he loses his job and they're on welfare. He is, I want to say, not the best father, which causes her mom to leave her and her siblings when they're younger. And then as their siblings get older, they leave as well, so they pretty much leave her behind. Her name's Kaya, and I guess when I started to read this book, I didn't want to finish it, mainly because I didn't really I understood, but I didn't, why the mother would want to abandon her child leave them with this kind of father who was not responsible for them, wasn't a father figure, didn't take care of them. And then when her siblings got old enough, they left Kaya on her own. And yeah, it was just really, I felt really sad for this character. I was very invested in her, Kaya, and the way she survived the whole time. She met some friends along the way. She had some enemies. She met a few guys that she was in a relationship with in this book. I don't really want to go into too much details, but this was a really good book. The end was really sad. I felt really sad for the end. The end was also surprised me. So the locals find one of the popular football players' body in the woods, and they all think it was Kaya because she's that awkward marsh girl that they never see, and she goes into town and everyone just thinks she's weird. Nobody really likes her, nobody really trusts her. I remember she went to this one store and this mom said to the kid, "Oh, stay away from her, she's marsh trash." And I was just like, okay, wow. I'm like, that's kind of harsh. So this book really surprised me that way. And yeah, I was really shocked by the end of this book. I was happy though, but I was shocked, if that makes any sense. This is definitely a book to read if you like that kind of end where it's like the shocking ending where it's like, oh, that happened? And yeah, the end really, really shocked me. So those are the kind of books I like to read when the ending was kind of just like open-ended and there's like boom. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. Definitely read this book. You will love it. I really want to go see the movie, but I haven't decided if I'm going to wait till it comes out in DVD or go to the theater to see this movie. Last book that I read, I could not put this book down. This is my first Taylor Jenkins read book. You saw my vlog on this book, so I don't want to go into too much detail. But so pretty much August 1983, so it's the day of Nina Riva's annual end of summer party and anticipation is at fever pitch. Everyone wants to be around the famous Rivas, Nina, the talented surfer, and supermodel brothers Jay and Hud. One a championship surfer and the other a renowned photographer and their adored baby sister Kit. The siblings are a source of fascination, especially as the offspring of legendary singer Mick Riva. So they live in Malibu. Their dad is a famous musician. He is not a very good family father figure. When the kids were younger, he cheated on his wife, June, more than once. June is a very weak character because she takes him back at least 3 times in the novel. He comes crawling back to her and she takes him back only for him to cheat on her again because he's always on the road. He never sees his kids. His kids don't really like him. So when they're older, his kids want nothing to do with him. But when they're younger, his kids just want to be around him. They want to see their dad. They want to be with their dad. And when he comes back, everything's a-okay. There's this picture perfect family again until he leaves and he goes on the road again, on tour again. And he cheats on his wife again and his kids don't see him. They become angry with him. And eventually their mother commits suicide because she can't take it anymore. And they're left to fend for themselves. Nina is the oldest and she pretty much takes care of her brothers and sisters until they grow up and they move out. And then there's the same pattern. Nina marries a popular surfer, I believe. I could be wrong. Hold on, let me check. So her husband's name is Brandon Randall, and again, he cheats on her with Carrie Soto. She actually has a book coming out in August called Carrie Soto. Carrie Soto is a famous tennis player, I believe. I'm pretty sure it's a tennis player. I could be wrong. And yeah, pretty much the same pattern. Brandon cheats on her for Carrie Soto. And the only difference between Nina and her mom is that Nina is a lot stronger and she doesn't take Brandon back when he comes crawling to her. There's also a few surprises in this book that were kind of, oh, that happened moment, and oh, where did that come from kind of thing, if that makes sense. There was one specific thing in this book that drove me nuts, was there were so many characters there's the main characters, but then there's other characters, and they talked about the other characters, and I find that I was just too confused with all these other characters in the book, and I felt they were unnecessary to me. I don't know if there's a point to the other characters, and then like the last 10 chapters or so they introduced another character in the book that was either should have been introduced sooner or should have not been introduced at all, because I just found it was way too late to introduce this character in the book for certain reasons. I won't tell you why. And then the end was just, yeah. The ending was not good, not bad. It was just, okay, cool. And then that was the end of the book, and I was like, okay. And I think that's what disappointed me about this book, was the ending, because it was not good, it was not bad, it was just cool. That's the end, cool. And then, yeah. This is definitely not a book I would reread, I don't think, just because of all the stuff that happened in the book, all the characters. This would not be a reread for me, but I did tab this book a lot because there was a lot of characters, and because there's a lot of stuff that happened in this book that I felt like I needed to tab and remember so I could talk about it. So yeah, that was my wrap up for July. Like I said, I want to do a wrap up video of all the books that I read in 2022 that I liked. I will probably show you all the books that I read since January, but I'll talk about more of the ones that I liked, and the ones I didn't like, I'll just kind of skip over them. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you read any of these books, if you want to read one of these books. Let me know if you read any other Tessa Bailey books or any other books by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This was my first book by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I also bought her The Seven Husbands book, but I have not read that one yet. And then I bought Malibu Rising for the summertime, and I read that one first, so I haven't read Seven Husbands yet. But there's a few other books by Taylor Jenkins Reid that I've heard is supposed to be really good too. So we'll see. Hopefully I will read some more of her books in the near future. I just have a ton of books on my TBR that I want to read first before I read more Taylor Jenkins Reid books. So if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more bookish videos and lifestyle videos. Don't forget to like this post, and I will see you guys, or like this video, and I will see you guys in the next video.